When your partner, family member, or friend has depression, you probably notice it in his or her behavior. But that doesn't mean you automatically know what you can do for them. And of course, you hope that it will go away on its own. But unfortunately, that is not just the case with depression. Today I want to share with you some insights to help you better understand depression. And I also give you some tips on how to deal with someone with depression. I will explain what you should and what you shouldn't do. I'm a healthcare psychologist and therapist, and I make videos on psychology and mental health topics. Depression is a common illness worldwide, with an estimated 3.8% of the population affected. Approximately 280 million people in the world have depression. The complex thing about depression is that we still don't understand exactly what causes it. And that's why there is no one-size-fits-all treatment. Every depression requires an individual approach. Not only does the severity of the depression play a role, but also the treatment preference of a person given his or her circumstances. Research shows that psychotherapy, especially cognitive behavioral therapy, helps to heal in case of mild and moderate depression. In more severe forms, it works best in combination with drugs, antidepressants. If you want to understand what your loved one experiences with depression, it is important to be well informed about it. That's what you're already doing right now watching this video. Find out not only what a depressive disorder is and what treatments there are, but also where you can go if things suddenly get really bad. The experiences of others who have also had to deal with depression can also be very enlightening. Why is that so important? Because you will never fully be able to feel what someone with depression is going through, but at least you get a better understanding of it. This way you avoid many misunderstandings. Depressed people often receive well-intentioned advice from their environment, such as try to look at the things you do have, or focus on everything that is going well. But success does not guarantee a depression-free life, because people with good jobs, nice relationships, and lovely children also suffer from depression. Most people with depression find it a great relief when they understand that they are not alone. They may not immediately show that they are happy with the support, but they are grateful, believe me. It is often easier for them to show that afterwards. One thing that makes depression so heavy is that hopelessness that people feel. I often hear from depressed patients something like, "This is never going to be okay." Precisely because this hopelessness is so typical of a depression, it is important to continue to offer hope. To keep saying, "This will go away," because it will go away. Often people, as soon as they feel a bit better, want to get on with their lives as soon as possible. But just as you need to recover physically after an accident, it takes time to mentally recover from depression. As a result, depression always lasts a lot longer than most people hope or want. It is very important to have a good plan for a person to build up his daily activities, step by step, and listen carefully to what he or she can handle physically and mentally. It can help in finding a new balance that prevents someone from expecting too much from himself. For someone with depression, daily tasks such as shopping and housework can sometimes be a heavy task. If you notice that your loved one with depression is struggling, you can definitely help. It is important for people with depression to have a daily structure. Without a clear structure, it can be difficult to do things. So you can support your family member or a friend with this. For example, agree on a daily schedule with fixed times for different activities. Imagine having to do everything at a slow pace, with everything happening around you at a high speed. You can't concentrate, you can't think well, can't listen well, or what others are saying. Yet, that is about what many people with depression experience. It can therefore be helpful to make life as simple as possible. For example, you can help make some decisions, even about the clothes to wear, what to do, what to watch on television, and so on. It can also be helpful to clear piles of post from the desk and to clear up mess. Make sure that the person is taking his or her medication. Offer to drive them to doctors or therapist appointments or help fill medication prescriptions. Furthermore, in situations where the depressed one has difficulty following conversations, it may also be helpful to try to speak more slowly using short sentences. When more people are present, try to avoid everyone talking at the same time. This can help your closest one better follow what is being said. It is important that you continue to treat him or her as a full person. Family members are never the cause or blame of depression for their loved one. Depression never has one cause. So how family members deal with the person with depression can never be the cause. What is clear is that it's not good for patients if family members are too critical or if they are too involved. That does not mean that this behavior of family members is the cause of depression. But once a person has recovered from depression, avoiding too much criticism and too much involvement can make the patient less likely to become depressed again. It prevents relapse. You can compare this to recovery of a heart patient. When a heart patient goes running, he may experience chest pain. He can't handle that effort. But of course, the physical activity is not the cause of this heart condition. It only affects a symptom. Same is with criticism and involvement of family. These do not cause depression but can result in complaints if someone is already a depressed patient. But what exactly does that mean, avoiding too much criticism and expansion? In a nutshell, a somewhat distant attitude is good for the patient. When there is a lot of tension, in reality or just in the patient's mind, many depressed people tend to withdraw a bit. They avoid confrontations, go to another room, isolate themselves, or take a break. This can be seen as a healthy response to too much stress. So be helpful, empathetic, but also give a person some space. There are no concrete rules on how to avoid too much criticism and involvement. Everyone will have to find their own way to do this. It can be very helpful to talk about this with your family member or friend. Ask what he or she can handle and what not. Next week, I'll continue this subject. I will be talking about how to communicate with a depressed person. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to share this video with your friends, so we can keep this conversation going. I would love for you to support me with a thumbs up. Anyway, drop your comments below. Thank you for staying with me. Bye.